Welcome to Saturday Morning Tutorials.
Oh, it's like I have two voices in my head.
I'm already lost.
This isn't done. This is only the beginning.
What's this? What's happening? Where am I? How did this happen? Who did this?
Ah, man, the professor lost his mind, man. I kind of feel bad for the dude.
I would feel bad for the dude if he wasn't a jerk!
Oh, that's right. You did try and kill me.
Yep, I
And
did.
you.
Honestly, I hate when people do that. It's the worst. It's the worst type of person.
It happens all the time.
That's a red flag when they try and kill you a bunch of times. I hate that.
Yeah, well, we tried to kill him too, I guess. I threw a moon at him.
That's true. I don't like it at all, but I was able to find some comfort in this cool time-lapse scene from the movie Lucy. The film itself was a bit of a sleeper hit, and the VFX were really rad. So that's what we're here to talk about today.
So for our time lapse, we did use a fair bit of stock footage for the time lapse shots. We're just gonna skip right on over those. We used some simple green screen and a turntable. We're gonna touch on that a little bit later.
This shot was made completely within Adobe After Effects. We had some footage of the dastardly Professor Unicorn spinning on a turntable in front of a green screen. We were moving these lights over him practically to cast some fake sun and moonlight onto him. That was smart of us.
It was. In After Effects, we created a new solid and applied the CC environment effect to that layer.
We're gonna need to go ahead and download some HDRIs. Why don't we all head over to good old ProductionCrate and we'll check out the landscape and the ocean categories, download some from there. The horizon lines and all these match up perfectly, which is a must for this effect to look good. We'll go ahead and import those HDRIs into After Effects. Let's do it.
Okay, select the CC environment effect on your solid and choose the very first HDRI that you want to appear. Nothing is gonna happen. Don't freak out though.
Don't freak out!
Don't freak out like we are. You need to add a camera to your scene.
As always, we appreciate the viewers at home wearing headphones.
Yep.
Let's keyframe the Y rotation on our camera and we'll move forward about 6 seconds and we'll increase that rotation until the speed looks right.
All right, so what we're gonna do is make a different layer for CC environment for each HDRI. Cut down the layer to be only 6 frames or so.
Duplicate it and drag the duplicate to match up with the end of the first layer. Make sure to switch the CC environment to a brand new HDRI. Do this process a bunch of times. Like how many?
Like 10.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Calm down, buddy. We suggest randomizing the HDRIs. The more HDRI options you have, the better.
I agree. Actually, in fact, let's go grab a few more. And
Where are we gonna find them?
ProductionCrate, we're there right now.
Cool.
I'm gonna take this one and that one, and yeah, I'll take that one too.
That was really easy and convenient.
Yep.
We added an adjustment layer with a strobe light effect and changed the color to a yellow-orange and dropped the opacity,
I'm so sorry, everybody. I've tried. You know I've tried. I've tried for years now, and this is just who he is.
Just find the parameters that work for you. This is the speed that we went with.
We did some fake camera move on the professor layer to make it look cooler.
Whoa!
That's right. Now we are getting somewhere.
We threw in some snow, some rain, and some lightning, and some ember assets as well to match the look of the movie. These added a bit more energy to the scene. They aren't tracked and don't move, but they only stay on for a few frames, so who even cares?
Not me. Now we need to do a little bit of coloring and fine tuning. There are some really good ways to color, there are some bad ways, and then there are the fast ways. We went with the facade.
Zoom! Pre-comp your subject layer with the keying and drop a tritone effect onto it. Choose the midtones from your scene and then move forward to the next HDRI CC environment layer and choose a different midtone color from your scene. Keyframe the blend with the original. Depending on the HDRI, you may want to go with more or less of the original colors. Just jump through your timeline adjusting these settings and eventually it'll work out for you just like it did for us.
It did. You can also use our free light wrap script for After Effects. If you want to add a little extra color and a little extra compositing touch. We actually went without for this one, but that doesn't mean you have to. Then just throw in curves or levels for a little extra color correcting. Our HDRIs were a little too bright, so we just took them down a notch.
Hey, you guys want to check out some 3D?
We used Cinema 4D for this. We were on version R20 Studio.
Nice. Let's start with some plants. We have some grass and some ferns, and we'll be did I say it wrong?
Firms.
Firms? How do you say it? Firm?
Yeah,
I said firm.
Like a good strong plant. That plant is firm.
All right. Again, we appreciate your patience at home. We did have some grass and some ferns. Some, you know what we had. And we're going to be building out some more assets for you guys too. Another great tool for vegetation, if you're a Cinema 4D user, is Forester. That thing is crazy powerful, but we just want to stick with the crate assets for today.
Let's build out a fern. Our fern assets come with different maps for you to choose from, as well as some low poly geometry. Let's just go to File, Merge, and select our plant. Oh man, now I said something dumb.
Oh, great.
Select the flant. I'm not changing it. Let's import the flant. As inches, we went with 6.
Your materials might need to be linked up. That's easy. Just double click it down here and link them up from the same folder as the OBJ. This model comes with an MTL, which will map the textures to the model. That's convenient. What does MTL even stand for?
Material texture link, maybe?
That might actually be correct.
Yeah, I don't know. Awesome. Let's start building out our fern. Go to MoGraph and select a cloner. Drop your fern branch beneath the cloner. With your cloner selected, go to Mode, Radial, and change the plant from XY to XZ and the radius down to 0. Nothing. We don't want no radius. Get that radius out of here.
Yeah.
Boo, radius.
I'm glad somebody's finally saying it too. In the transform settings, change the you know what? Boo radius.
Yeah.
Okay. In the transform settings, change the rotation of B to something around 30. We can keyframe this, which will make it look like the plant is growing. Just select that little dot to add a keyframe.
Let's add another cloner and drop our first cloner into it. Now we're cloning clones.
Oh man.
This is where the madness really begins.
Or has science gone too far?
Now we have some instances of the fern branch. We just left these at 5, but you can add whatever number of branches you want. One with 5.
Set your Y position on the new cloner to something low, like 7. Change the H rotation or the H rotation for our friends across the pond so that the branches aren't all facing the same direction. Let's check that out. Check it out.
Cool, looking good. Let's bring the size of the object on the new cloner down to 80% for X, Y, and Z.
Again, for the benefit of our brothers around the world.
It's just for David.
We have some cool movement now, but let's add a little bit of growth. And some personal growth as well could do us all some good. There are a bunch of different ways we could go about this. We could attend therapy. We could change the scale of the original fern OBJ model. Actually, let's do that second one. Since our access center is where... Oh my God, we're so silly. Since our access center is where it should be, this is not an issue. Select the first cloner, go to the last frame, and keyframe the scale X, Y, Z, or Z, depending on who you are. Back on the first keyframe, bring these down. We went with 0.3. Make sure to keyframe again. Now we have a time-lapsed plant. Woohoo! We should make a happy little home for our happy little plant, don't you think?
I do. You can drop all of your plant assets into a null to stay organized. Select them all and hit Alt-G.
You say organized like it's something exciting.
It is.
Whoa.
Organization is great. Tidying up brings joy.
Go to Objects and select the landscape object. Hit T and click and drag to scale it on up. Scale it on up.
Right on up. A neat little trick we used in another shot was to animate the rough furrows. This makes it look like the hill is kind of moving and eroding over time. Like this.
Get your perspective set up in a way that you like it and create a new camera.
I got a great perspective. Now we can't see our plant because
whoa, where is it?
Calm down, fella. It's behind that hill over yonder. The way we can bring it closer to us is with this nifty little trick.
Oh, good.
Hit Shift-C. This is a great way to find any and all tools in Cinema 4D. Type in PSR. Drag that icon up to your right window. Grab that knoll with your plant and drop it under your camera. With it selected, hit PSR. That's going to zero out the position, scale, and rotation so the plant will snap to your camera's position. Now you can jump out of your camera view with this little button right here, and you can move your plant into position. Then get that plant out from under the camera so we can move the camera without moving the plant with it. PSR, position, scale, rotation.
Chris, I really appreciate you keeping a level head in that time of crisis.
Thank you. Can I freak out now?
Yeah, because I'm still freaking out about these leaves. They're drooping so low. We could, actually, you know what? Hang on, let's just adjust the rotation on those. That's actually fine.
Oh, nice. You can duplicate your plants and move them wherever you would like. We have this wonderful render for C4D called Octane. It is super duper fast and also has this really cool thing called Octane Scatter, which creates instances of any objects like plants and quickly spreads them across any surface you choose. You can randomize the rotation, scale, and color as much as you want. This is definitely going to help when you're cloning a single object.
If you don't randomize your clones, then you're just gonna get like look what happened to the stormtroopers.
What happened to the stormtroopers?
They suck.
Good point.
I'll probably cut that part out.
Nope.
The random effector it's just wonderful for this.
It really is.
We can use it in Octane Scatter. If you don't have Octane, the cloner is a good workaround. Create a new cloner, set it to object mode, and use your landscape as the object. Make sure your plant null is underneath your new cloner object. You may need to adjust the rotation. We did, but it worked out fine.
Go to MoGraph Effector and choose Random. Go to Parameter and turn off Position. We can enable rotation. For H, put in 360. For P and B, choose lower values. We just went with 12.
You can also enable scale. Check the uniform scale and set the scale to something like 0.5?
Works for me. We can load up an HDRI and give that a few spins. We can also use the dirt material from ProductionCrate for our hill. Throw in some plants and some more plants and you got yourself magical time lapse.
What does HDRI stand for?
High Dynamic Range Image.
I thought it stood for heckin' dope. Ready, idiot?
We're gonna be diving a bit more into some 3D content for the next tutorial. It's gonna be a big one. Tons of insanely cool VFX. We'll see y'all next week.
And hey, if you want to see Chris and I battle it out in our first ever VFX challenge, make sure to watch the pilot episode of Video Showdown. We're gonna put it in the end card, which is gonna happen right now.
Hi. Hello. My name is... that's not important. Well, there's these. You should check these videos out. This is the subscribe circle. Oh, make it awesome. You should do that. Just make it awesome.